Hi everyone, and welcome to Oregon. I'm standing here on the coast of the Willamette River in our new location while we experience a gap year in the coming year. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and in today's video I want to share with you a tip that we actually learned when we were making the transition from Denver right here to Portland, and what we discovered along the way can help you build a stronger business and change the way you look at experiences. We'll talk about all that and more in today's episode of Vision of Success TV. So just a short time ago, about 3 weeks ago, we made the transition from Denver to Portland for the next year. We want to experience something brand new. We want to change our outlook, change the way we look at life in general. And so we've decided to come to the Pacific Northwest, a place we've never been before, we've never discovered, and we've never experienced things from a native standpoint, from someone who lives right here in the Pacific Northwest area. And a part of that process, as we made our transition, we started looking at things from a different way, almost from the very beginning, from the entire process of moving and transitioning from one city, from one state to another. While we did this, we've found a location that would be perfect right here on the Willamette River. This is my view every single morning. I walk along the river now, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So even as we transition from what's currently 94 degrees, we've been experiencing some pretty incredible weather the last couple weeks. Even as we transition into the more rainy season and get into the colder, we can't wait to experience all the different things that are going to come about. But while we were waiting for our house to be finished, to be ready, the place that we'll be staying in for the next year, while we were waiting for that to become available to us, we stayed at a place, a hotel chain that allowed us to stay for an extended period of time. It's a national organization, or a national chain that a lot of you I'm sure have heard. It will remain nameless right here, but it was one that made a lot of promises going in. We'd never stayed there before, but the thing that enticed us is it was like staying in a home away from home when you needed to stay someplace for a longer period of time. So what drove us is we would have access to a kitchen, more of the modern conveniences of life. So it would be almost like living at home, which when you're staying somewhere for a couple of weeks, you don't want to always eat out every day, and you don't want to do all the things that you do when you're typically on vacation or on holiday. You want to come back home and actually work and do some of the different things that you need to do. So when we walked into this chain, the first thing we discovered is the kitchen layout was just a very simple kitchen, but it was missing some very important things. It was missing plates and cups and knives and forks and all the basic things that you need to cook. Very strange. We didn't know what was going on. We asked and found out that you had to request these specific types of things in your kitchen. Now, why would you make a promise for a kitchen when you don't include the utensils for it? To me, it almost seemed like a no-brainer that if you made the promise that you had the kitchen so it felt like you were at home, you should include the things that are needed in a kitchen, such as plates and knives and forks and cups and some of the basic things like that. But it didn't end there. It kept going. For several days in a row, we discovered things that made it seem like it was at home, and yet they didn't follow through on the back end. For instance, when we needed a fold-out couch for our daughter to come and stay with us, they didn't include any bedding to go with it. Again, it's almost a common thing. If you need a bed, you're going to need the bedding to go with it, correct? And then when I made my first transition to needing to use the laundry facilities, the most logical thing you need is quarters to feed into the machines. They didn't have any system in place right there in the laundry facility, and when I asked at the front office, again, they didn't have quarters available. She had to literally scrounge around to try and find even just a couple dollars worth so I could do one simple load. Again, all these very simple things that when you're dealing with a high volume of clients, which they had quite a number of places, you would think that would be a logical customer experience, that they would experience the same thing again and again with every client that came through. And yet they seem to have trouble with that and not anticipating their customers' needs. As you build your own big ideas, you're growing your business, That's one thing that you can do in order to make yourself invaluable, to give yourself so much value that people are really going to flock to you and want to use your services again and again. Think about it from your client's perspective. What do they want? What do they need? And what do they not even know they need that you can provide to them in order to give them an experience that wows them like none other? It doesn't leave them wanting for something more and always having to question what's happening, because that's where you lose your value. Where you gain your value is when you anticipate their needs and go above and beyond what they expect. That's where they become very excited with who you are and what you have to offer. Now, if you like this tip right here, please follow me right here and you will receive every single week a video tip and a blog post tip, just like this one, that's going to help you take your big idea and grow it into something large, a big business that can help you create the lifestyle you've been dreaming of. Whether that lifestyle includes a gap year, totally relocating for a year to another location, or whatever it is that you choose to make special. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.